Welcome to Spectrum News at 4, coming to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Let's take a look at the top stories. President Tinubu urges Africa to control, finance its mineral wealth. Governor Moeno pledges inclusive growth and renewed hope as Akwa Ibom marks 38th anniversary. Plus, schools shut, flights cancelled as Typhoon Ragasa nears Hong Kong. Stay tuned for details of the stories and more in just a moment. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on the News at 4. We begin the news this afternoon from the national scene where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria has urged African nations to take control of their mineral resources and reform the global financial system that has long exploited the continent. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Tinubu made the call at the Second African Mineral Strategy Group AMSG high-level roundtable on critical minerals development in New York, held alongside the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. In a statement released Tuesday by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Stanley Nkwocha, Tinubu stressed the urgent need for Africa to finance its mineral sectors independently and assert influence over global supply chains. Tinubu pledged Nigeria's commitments to catalyzing a mineral-led renaissance under the Renewed Hope agenda and called on African leaders to end the ignoble cycle of importing finished goods by accelerating government-led mineral exploration. From the legislature, where the National Assembly has postponed the resumption of plenary sessions by 2 weeks. Originally scheduled to resume on September 23, plenary will now commence on October 7. This was disclosed in a memorandum sent to all members of the National Assembly and signed by the clerk, Kamoru Ogunlana. In the memo, Ogunlana requested all the distinguished senators and House of Representative members to take note of the new date and adjust their schedules accordingly. Meanwhile, the National Assembly has unsealed the office of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Duagan, located in Suite 2.05 of the Senate wing. The office was unsealed today by the Deputy Director of the Sergeant at Arms, Alabi Adedeji, potentially paving the way for the Kogi Central Senator to return to the Red Chamber when plenary resumes on October 7, 2025. Recall that the Kogi Central Senator had a week earlier written to the upper chamber to notify them of her intention to resume duties following her 6-month suspension. In a separate development, the federal government has stated that its goal of attracting more funds and investment into the Nigerian oil and gas sector is at the center of its decision to devote more executive attention to ongoing reforms in the energy sector. The special advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Vehijen, disclosed this in Abuja when she received the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited, Tony Atta. Vehijen's call for more investment in the oil and gas sector followed federal government's bid to ramp up crude oil production and increase its oil revenue. The special advisor commended the company's over 40% oil production increase within 150 days of its completion of the transaction in March 2025, when it successfully acquired the shares of Shell Petroleum Company Limited. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has declared today, Tuesday, September 23, 2025, a work-free day across the state. In a notice signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Ania Kanumana, the declaration is in commemoration of the 38th anniversary of the creation of the state. According to the release, all government offices and public institutions are expected to observe the holiday. Governor Eno further extended his warm wishes to citizens and residents of the state, urging them to enjoy a joyful and peaceful celebration. Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State has celebrated its 38th anniversary with Governor Umoeno delivering a broadcast that highlighted the state's journey of growth, unity and peace since its creation on September 23, 1987. Governor Umoeno, in his statewide address, expressed gratitude to God and the people of Akwa Ibom for sustaining the vision of the state's founding fathers. He also paid tribute to former military President General Ibrahim Babangida GCFR, retired, who created a state, describing the gesture as a unique gift that transformed the hopes of many into reality. Reflecting on the state's progress, the governor said Akwa Ibom has evolved from a glorified village into the nation's best-kept secret with world-class road infrastructure, elegant housing estates, a thriving airline in Ibom Air, which carries the flag of excellence in the Nigerian aviation sector and recognition as an official FIFA and CAF football host. Governor Eno outlined achievements of his administration under the Arise agenda, including 771 kilometers of road projects, either commissioned or ongoing across the 3 senatorial districts, stressing that some of these roads were inherited from past administrations on which they have deployed the finisher's anointing. The launch of the Akwa Ibom Security Trust Fund, provision of solar-powered housing for vulnerable families, and the ongoing free food distribution program, which has reached over 500,000 households.
Gratitude to God and to you, my dear people, for the great journey of purpose we have collectively undertaken in the past 38 years. It has been a journey of renewal, of phenomenal growth, of undiluted peace, of the deepening of bonds of unity, kindred spirit, and pride in our collective identity. Let me again, as I've always done in the past, on behalf of the government and people of this great state, thank and celebrate our former military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, GCFR, retired. For this unique gift, may God continue to bless him with good health, a sound mind, and spirit. Uyo today is home to some of the most elegant housing estates in the nation. A thriving airline, Ibom Air, carries our flag of excellence in the nation aviation sector, signposting our ascendancy in that sector. In sports, we are the official FIFA and CAF designated host of World Cup and African Cup football matches. All over the state, the energy is infectious, our people are hopeful, and the sunny disposition on what the future holds is palpable. Our economic fundamentals are strong and resilient as we arise together to build a golden future that unlocks our potentials. It has been 38 years of God's blessings, of lifting up where there appeared to be a casting down, and we should all be very proud. Let me at this time pay my glowing tributes to all our past governors. These leaders were passionate, determined, and focused in moving our state forward, and we should celebrate and honor them for their service to the state, rather than disrespecting or castigating their legacies.
He also reaffirmed his government's commitment to agriculture and tourism, announcing plans for a tree crop development initiative, the commissioning of Arise resorts in December, and the construction of a 350-bed Ibom International Hospital. Other projects include the International Convention Center, Ibom Towers and Apartments in Lagos, and Ibom Hotels and Apartments in Abuja. The governor called on political leaders and citizens to uphold peace and unity as the political season draws closer, urging them to avoid inflammatory rhetoric and to place the state's collective interest above partisan divisions. He also cautioned youths against being used as agents of violence. Governor Ino further announced that tomorrow, September 24th, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, will commission the 15.13 kilometers Otomo Azumini Road and other internal roads in Ika local government area.
The frontiers of all those developmental gains and prime our state away from dependency on oil to tourism, which is the new black gold. Through our governance blueprint, the Arise agenda, we have reignited our passion in agriculture and the need to produce our staple food so our people may have enough to feed their families and to earn income too. The tree crop development plan, which we will soon launch, will provide generational and sustainable economic prosperity for our people and restore our place as the nation's leading oil palm producers. I urge you to participate in this exercise once it is launched. We are providing access roads in our rural communities and have expanded the road infrastructure in the state as we have done over 771 kilometers of road, either commissioned or ongoing across the 3 senatorial districts. Some of these roads were inherited from past administrations on which we have deployed our finishers anointing. Tomorrow, September 24th, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, will help commission the 15-kilometer Ikorotomo Azumini Road and other internal roads in Ika local government area, which
expressed appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for his support to the state and acknowledged Senate President Godswill Akpabio's role in strengthening federal cooperation while pledging Akwa Ibom solidarity as the president seeks re-election in 2027.
The flaming passion of politics to divide us. Let me end this broadcast by again appealing to you, my dear people, to remain united, peaceful, and hopeful as the political season unfolds. I urge us not to allow the flaming passion of politics to divide us. Elections will come and go, but the Akwa Ibom spirit of love, brotherhood will remain. We are running Akwa Ibom united across party lines. Let me again thank our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR for the love he has shown us and the cooperation he has equally extended to our dear son, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio GCON. We pledge our unflinching support to him as he submits himself again in 2027 for Nigerians to return him to Aso Rock to complete his audacious reforms that have already started to bear fruit across the Nigerian economic and social sectors.
Elsewhere, the Akwa Ibom State Police Command, under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police, CP Baba Muhammad Azari, FSI, has launched a landmark empowerment program for police officers' wives aimed at improving the economic well-being and self-reliance of families within the force. A release signed by the Police Public Relations Officer DSP Tim Fon John noted that the event held at the Police Command Headquarters, Ikorokpanabiauyo, brought together dignitaries, senior police officers and members of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, to celebrate and support the wives of officers who serve tirelessly to maintain law and order in the state. Speaking at the occasion, CP Baba Muhammad Azari, FSI, commended the wives of police officers for their unwavering support and sacrifices, describing them as the silent pillars behind the gallant men and women of the Nigeria Police Force. He emphasized that the empowerment initiative is designed to provide skills, tools, and financial support that will enable beneficiaries to establish small-scale businesses, become self-reliant, and contribute to the economic growth of their families and the wider society. The CP also appreciated the V-Care for Development Foundation and other organizations and sponsors who contributed to the success of this epoch-making event.
Your commitment to the welfare of our officers and their families is a testament to the spirit of collaboration that drives development in our dear state. I equally thank all our donors, those that are here and those that are not here, including our gallant police officers. To the beneficiaries of today's empowerment, I urge you to take full advantage of this opportunity. Let the skills and resources provided today serve as a foundation for building businesses, supporting your households, and inspiring other women around you. Let us prove that empowerment is not just about receiving, but about growth, innovation, and creating a legacy of self-reliance. In conclusion, I want to reaffirm the commitment of the Nigeria Police Force, Akwa Ibom State Command, to ensuring the security and safety of all residents. As we protect the state, we remain equally committed to supporting initiatives that uplift the welfare of our officers and their families. And this will be a continuous exercise, I assure you. Together, let us continue to build a police force that is not only strong in service, but also compassionate in caring for those who stand behind the badge. Thank you, and may God bless the Nigeria Police Force, Akwa Ibom State Police Command, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the acting chairperson of POA, Akwa Ibom State, Nkoyo Egbe, expressed gratitude to the state command and all partners for making the initiative a reality, pledging continued efforts to enhance the welfare of police families.
I want to thank him especially for thinking towards this direction of empowering our women. And of course, you know, when the home front is in order, the workforce will move forward. Thank you very much, Baba. God bless you. And I also want to thank our well-wishers who supported us in this program, like the VK. I can see some of them here. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. God bless you. I want to thank every one of us that find time to be here to witness this epoch-making occasion. Thank you very much. We, the POA members and all the beneficiaries, will be able to make use of whatever is presented to us to the betterment of the family and to Nigerian Police Force at large. Thank you very much, sir, and God bless you.
Highlights of the event were the distribution of empowerment materials such as sewing machines, grinding machines, hairdressing kits, deep freezers, mixers, cookers, and gas cylinders, among others. Now to Africa, where the West African states of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have announced their withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, ICC, stating that they no longer recognize its jurisdiction. The three military-led countries accuse the court of arbitrarily prosecuting war crimes and serving as an instrument of neo-colonialist repression. They emphasized their commitment to upholding human rights protection in line with their values. Recall that the same argument had earlier been used by the three countries to justify their withdrawal from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. On the foreign scene, the United States mission in Nigeria has declared that corrupt, high-profile Nigerian officials will be denied entry into the U.S. In a post on X, the mission reiterated commitment to fighting corruption, stressing that accountability applies to all, regardless of status. Meanwhile, in United Kingdom, Reform UK announced plans to overhaul immigration rules if it wins the next election. The party said it would abolish the right of migrants to secure permanent residency after 5 years, a process known as indefinite leave to remain, ILR. Still on the foreign scene, Hong Kong shut schools and cancelled flights today as Super Typhoon Ragasa neared the financial center with a force that officials warned would be among the most destructive in the city's recent history. The powerful storm posed a wide threat to lives and homes, prompting authorities in mainland China to order businesses and schools to shut down in at least 10 cities across the nation's south, affecting tens of millions of people. Ragasa had already toppled trees, torn the roofs off buildings, and killed at least 2 people in a landslide while lashing the northern Philippines, where thousands sought shelter in schools and evacuation centers. According to Hong Kong's weather service, the super typhoon was generating maximum sustained winds of 220 kilometers, that is 137 miles per hour, near its center, while moving west across the South China Sea. Still to come in the news. Messi reacts to Dembele winning Ballon d'Or award. Stay tuned for details of this in a jiffy. We appreciate you for staying with us. Now we conclude the rest of our news stories. On our business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, on Tuesday cut the interest rate from 27.50% to 27% from 27.50%. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso announced this at a press conference after the 2-day 302nd MPC meeting in Abuja. According to him, the members of the MPC unanimously agreed to the cut due to the country's inflation decline for the past 5 months. MPC also adjusted the cash reserve ratio, CRR, to 45% for deposit money banks and 16% for merchant banks. He also adjusted this asymmetric corridor at plus 250/minus 250 basis points around the MPR. The committee retained the liquidity ratio, LR, at 30.0%. Still in business, the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, has endorsed the recent decision of the federal government to revoke 1,263 mineral licenses belonging to operators who defaulted in paying statutory fees or failed to meet other obligations. In a statement issued by its Director of Communications and Stakeholder Management, Obiajali Onwara, NETI described the action of the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, as bold, timely, and consistent with the agency's audit findings. According to the statement, the licenses revoked included 584 exploration licenses, 65 mining leases, 144 quarry licenses, and 470 small-scale mining leases. The NETI's support for the move is anchored on its recent industry reports, which have consistently highlighted widespread default among mining title holders. We move over to health now, where orthopedic surgeons have urged Nigerians to shun traditional bone setters and healers for the treatment of fractures, dislocations, and joint injuries, warning that such practices often worsen patients' conditions. The experts said the practice was contributing to the delay in seeking proper treatment, adding that the outcomes are devastating, ranging from poorly healed fractures and deformities to life-threatening complications that sometimes lead to amputation. They stress that prompt and proper medical care in certified hospitals remains the safest approach, insisting that Nigerians must prioritize evidence-based orthopedic treatment over unregulated practices to avoid preventable disability and death. Still talking health, endocrinologists have debunked widespread myths surrounding the use of insulin in the management of diabetes, describing insulin injection as a life-saving treatment essential for controlling blood sugar levels in many patients. The experts dismissed the claim that insulin is only prescribed for patients who are on the brink of death. The diabetes specialist refuted the claims, warning that such misinformation not only misrepresents the role of insulin in diabetes management, but also contributes to fear, stigma, and treatment avoidance among patients who genuinely need it. The physicians reiterated that insulin is not a sign of defeat or doom, but a reliable tool that helps millions of people with diabetes live healthier, longer lives. We move now to sports, where Inter Miami star Lionel Messi has congratulated Ousmane Dembele on his 2025 Ballon d'Or triumph after the French winger edged out Barcelona's Lamine Yamal to claim the prestigious award. The 8-time Ballon d'Or winner celebrated his former Barcelona teammate on social media. Dembele scored 35 goals in 53 appearances in all competitions for Paris Saint-Germain last term, helping the French club win their first ever Champions League trophy, as well as Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France. He succeeded Manchester City midfielder Rodri as the winner and became the 6th Frenchman to win the Ballon d'Or after Raymond Kopa, Michel Platini, Jean-Pierre Rapin, Zinedine Zidane, and Karim Benzema. Still talking sports, Brighton and Hove Albion have congratulated their Nigeria international Chiamaka Nnadozie for finishing 4th in the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year category at the 2025 Ballon d'Or award. Nnadozie was one of the 5 goalkeepers who met the final shortlist for the award, which was won by Hannah Hampton of England and Chelsea. In second place was Anne-Catherine Berger of Germany. Kotham and Kata Cole, who play for Spain and Barcelona, placed 3rd, and in 5th place has Netherlands and Arsenal first choice Daphne van Domsela. On our entertainment news, Nigerian singer Davido has become the latest member of the Recording Academy ahead of the 2026 Grammys. As a voting member, Davido will participate in the decision-making process of the Grammy Awards. The Afrobeat star described his admission into the Recording Academy as a game changer. He added that he is honored to join the prestigious Recording Academy and looks forward to voting. Davido earned his first 3 nominations at the 2024 Grammys, but lost all the categories. His 4th nomination came in the way of his collaboration with Chris Brown and Lojay Sensational, which was nominated for the Best African Music Performance at the 2025 Grammys, but lost to Tems' Love Me Jeje. And that's all we have for you at this time. To ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.nj. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. My name is Ofonono Joseph. To enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.